Sometimes I feel like you guys know everything about me, but then I realized that I've grown so much in the last few years. I was an accountant before this. I actually loved my job. I loved working. I loved my coworkers. I loved everything about it. When you are in a corporate mindset, everyone teaches you like you have to have the solid 9 to 5, you have to have the security of the benefits, you have to have the 401s, all that stuff. Like that was how I was raised. That's everything I've ever known. Then my dad died and I got 3 days of bereavement. And if you've ever gone through any sort of grief experience, especially someone that's very, very, very close to you, you know 3 days is absolute bullshit. I was still numb from losing my dad. He was literally in my arm taking his last breath. And you expect me to show up to work on Monday morning and respond back to an email politely? No. My employers fully understood and they let me take what was called FMLA. It was a 2-month leave of absence due to mental health. I went unpaid. And so in those 2 months, I really just poured my heart and soul into social media because it was my outlet. Exactly 2 months after my FMLA, it was about to be up and my boss was calling me to see if I wanted to extend it for another 30 days. And as I got onto that call, I had a feeling I wasn't going to return to work, but I couldn't explain the feeling. As she picks up the phone and says hello, I get a Gmail, like my Gmail pops up and it was a brand deal. It was the largest brand deal I'd ever seen in my life. I was like, what? I just said to her, I said, I really need some time to think about this because I don't want to extend for 30 days if I know I'm not coming back. And something in me tells me right now that I don't think I'm coming back, but I need to talk to my husband. Within a couple hours of talking to my husband, I was emailing my employer and I was terminating my role. Since that day, I have always made more money on social media than I did in my accounting career. My husband and I's biggest thing was you can always come back to accounting. Accounting roles will always be open. Now, looking back, I probably will never touch an accounting role again. The last 2 years since quitting my job, we have been very strategic. The beautiful part is that my husband's always continued to work. So we've always been able to live off of one income. My husband's job literally pays all of our bills and anything extra goes into investments, into our own retirement accounts. Like we've been very, very conscientious of what we're doing because we do want to set ourselves up so I don't have to go back to work. In the traditional corporate world, social media is still very much a full-time job. There is a reason why people quit their jobs to pursue it full-time. Back in the day when I was working my 40 hours a week, I was also probably putting about 40 hours into videos, editing, responding, comment, like keeping up with emails, keeping up with brand deals. Like there's a lot that goes into social media. I honestly respect creators. I understand as a consumer what it looks like of like, I related to you because you had a 9 to 5. I'm well aware that when you follow a creator and their path takes a different path, it's almost like you're like, oh, well, where's that relatability? But something that I still to this day say, money and profession